kind of business would you like to start and why? Look at all these creative minds. Seniors? Since you seem to be blushing the most, do you have a good answer?
Okay, so I think the job I'm going to do, like the business, is like about computer science. So majoring in IT and like okay, so it's not like really it's not like I want to get a lot of money from it. I just okay, I have ideas to make a new operating system to like it's kind of against Mac OS and Windows. And I will like put it on the internet and totally free for people to download it. I don't want to get money from it. I mean, it's just, I just interested in it. I don't get money from it.
Are you passionate about it? We've been hearing about passion tonight. Other ideas of people that might want to start a new business after they go through their schooling. Thank you very much for your response, by the way. I'm walking in this direction. There has to be some creative ideas back here. Something when you fall asleep at night, you think about what you might want to start as far as a new business. Should I hand it to him?
I don't want to be no, I don't want to be businessman. Why? What? I don't want to be businessman.
You don't want to? Okay. Anyone else? I won't put you on the spot. Rich, they're all being shy. Anyone else? Oh, back here. I'm excited.
For entrepreneurship, the thing that I'm really interested in is puzzle making. And entrepreneurship, I think, is the only way to really be successful at it, because there's small supply and demand, but it's everywhere. Not to say it's my only plan, because who's to say if it'll work or not. So I always have, I think I have like 3 backup plans. And I do hope to get a degree in college for it. But if not, I'm going to get a degree in mathematics, hopefully, so it's applicable to other things.
Thank you. Other ideas to start a business after you graduate? Should I sit down? You sure you don't want me to come back there? All right, just a few more questions. Don, this is sort of specific, but maybe we can generalize it. And the question is for you, and they're asking for you to talk about the success from a profitability standpoint from the Christmas tree, and from the Christmas tree farm. And as a follow-up to that, how were you able to successfully build the Ravens Rocks endowment?
Does this sound okay? I don't want to get too much feedback. Okay. Because the Christmas tree business was run with volunteer labor, it's difficult to say how successful it was, because we don't have, number of hours put in compared to, the return. But because our group varied a lot, it varied some in size, but often there were maybe 10 of us, 12 of us working on it, and over the many years, it returned several $100,000 to the project. So it was we felt like it was valuable, and because we didn't have the typical inputs that you've got to look at to figure, you know, how much did my hired labor cost, how much did my equipment cost, how much did my land cost, and all that, we set our prices on our Christmas trees based on what other people who had those costs were selling them for. We didn't want to, because of our volunteer labor, set a price that was so low that they couldn't make a living, but we wanted to be competitive, and we felt that our trees were better than their trees, and I mean I still feel that way. So we generally charge premium prices for our trees, and our customers seem to agree with our judgment because we would get repeat customers. I mean, we had a very high loyalty, so I think it was quite successful. The concrete business varied from year to year. That was, you know, there are years when we were just scraping by, hanging on by our fingernails, and there were other years when we had lots of business and we were just, you know, as busy as we could be, and the return was pretty good. But because the fixed costs when running a concrete business are pretty high, with, you know, you buy a truck, you've got that truck whether you use it or not, you're paying insurance every year whether you use it or not, you're paying road taxes, you know, thousands of dollars and all these taxes, and if you do, you know, 1,000 yards with that truck a year instead of 2,000 or 3,000 or more, then, you know, those costs can really run you over. But given the location of our concrete business, I would say it was modestly successful. And certainly as far as our customers go, they were very happy.
A very important aspect of any business is their marketing, and the next question covers marketing. And the question is for any of the presenters, and the question reads, can you talk about marketing from your experience? What can Olney learn from you about how you sold your products, advertised your products, or attracted customers? So again, can you talk about marketing from your experience? What can Olney learn from you about how you sold your products, advertised your products, or attracted your customers?
I did sell advertising in the Caribbean for 3 years, so I am a firm believer in it. I think it does work. My father owned the advertising business in the Virgin Islands for almost 30 years. That's how he put us all through schools and what have you, and they had 8 children. So I know that it does work, and people do take advantage of it. Right now I'm in a situation where I can't advertise. It's just not in our budget. I think it does work. You have to be just kind of smart, I guess, about it and pick what you want to stress and just go from there. As far as marketing, I just have a little store. It just has to be clean and kind of approachable and well lit and those sorts of things. In a restaurant, it absolutely must be clean. It has to be immaculate. In fact, from the front door to the bathroom to everywhere they see, people take that very seriously now. There's things that go on in restaurants you guys don't want to know about, but I don't see that sort of thing. And that's been forever, and that we won't go anywhere towards that, I suppose. Marketing is something I would suggest you study if you're dead serious about making any kind of money. Yeah, you got to sell your product. You can make the greatest thing in the world, and if no one knows about it, what the heck? Just stick it in your living room.
I want to say, I think the marketing or advertising as such is probably very specific to the business you're in. I know that we tried with a concrete business doing advertising and felt like we had 0 results. What mattered was word of mouth, and that as a form of advertising is something that can't be beat by anything you pay dollars for. And so you get that by people being happy with when they got you because they tell their neighbor, and then the next time the neighbor gets concrete, or, you know, he tells his neighbor, and that's really the way it worked there. And even with the Christmas tree business, we didn't find that advertising was very useful. Here again, it was, do you have a good, here Christmas tree, it was largely, a lot of it was location, because people would see you as they were driving down the street, and that meant the location was very important in that situation.
Mike, anything to add to that?
I work for a Fortune 500 company, and we have whole buildings full of marketing people. But I think that the general thing that I've figured out from watching other people try, I have a friend who I graduated from computer science with, who started his own software company and actually built Photoshop plugins. It's alien skin software, which is fairly well known at this point. And I was talking to him, and his attitude was focused completely on quality. That even something as technologically distributed as you know, Photoshop plugins, it was word of mouth. You know, somebody started using his stuff and he did it better than anybody else, and he said to somebody else, and an awful lot of people who are going to buy things try and find somebody else that's bought that. So my sense is that while advertising is important, I don't understand that world at all. I'm pretty much of a geek. Focusing primarily on quality, I think there's a sense in which, say, marketing can sell anything. And my sense is marketing can sell anything once. but when you're trying to, what you really want to do is have a constant revenue stream from repeat customers. You know, that quality is the real answer to it. So no matter what business you're in, if you don't focus on quality, you get people to buy it once, word of mouth works the other way too. Yeah. You know, if you sell something and it doesn't work, usually people, at least in the computer world, get pretty hot about that. Yeah. And they're really going to tell their friends if it doesn't work out. And I know I was in catering for a while. The same thing is true for catering. If you have a catering event that doesn't work out, you've lost that business, but probably a whole circle of people around them, they're going to ask, how'd it work? So my sense is marketing is a wonderful tool, but it's no substitute for quality.
Thank you. I was at a presentation the other day. It talked about technology, and some interesting statistics were given, and these may not be exactly right, but the theme is definitely right. And that is, it took radio 53 years to reach 50 million listeners. It then took television, I think the number was 43 years to reach 50 million viewers. The internet took 4 years to reach 50 million users, and Facebook took 6 months. So it just lets you know the pace of technology and how quickly it's changing. And with technology as an introduction, Mike, the final question is for you, and I might need some help from whoever wrote the question, but it reads, would you suggest that Olney educate the students in technology and then create a company as a form of an income? And I think, may I ask who wrote the question, because I think I might need a little bit more clarification. Maybe not? Sure. Mike, would you suggest that Olney should educate students in technology and then create a company as a form of income?
The truth is you might have told me earlier, Mark, so I'm a little bit of a Luddite. I think educating students well is more important than education them in technology. And if they learn how to reason well, how to write well, then eventually when they apply their skills to technology, it'll work out. As far as investing technology, it is a very, very turbulent market. And I can't figure out for the life of me why some companies get spanked and others get rewarded. You know, our stock seems to go up and down for reasons I completely don't understand that seem to be completely unrelated to profit. I mean, you can have your record-breaking quarter and your stock gets spanked because it didn't meet some analysts. You can do very poorly, but if you do not as poorly as the analysts expect, your stock goes up. It's extremely turbulent. I think if you are interested in technology, my advice would be to look for some hard problem. In technology, there's a lot of Me Too-ism. Well, I saw somebody else do, so I'm going to do something like that. My sense in my own career, the distributed locking thing I announced earlier, nobody wanted to touch that. Because if it broke, every machine in the company would not work, and I'd get lots of what they call executive assistants, which means the CEO of the company calling my office phone asking me how long it's going to take until this is fixed. But on the other hand, it was very rewarding. So there's a lot, I mean, I have a lot of friends that, think about iPhone apps and all that. Well, I want to do an iPhone app like someone else. Well, fundamentally, you don't make very much money doing that. Find some hard problem and try and figure out how to solve that hard problem. But personally, I don't invest in technology. It's funny because I work for a Fortune 500 company. I get stock options. I exercise them and put it in something I understand because it's just so turbulent. And somebody can come out with an app and just wipe away your base. You can develop a really wonderful piece of technology, and Microsoft develops a competitor, and you're done. And it's a very turbulent market. I don't advise investing in it personally.
Thank you.